You can help this podcast by using our affiliate links to buy awesome products. All hail our affiliates: Fiverr, eBay, Halley, AI, Pinpause, CBD for Life, A Premium Auto Parts, and Fans Edge. Go to smackology.42web.io and use our affiliate links to buy from these great companies.
Everybody wants to scratch an itch, but nobody ever wants to feel this wrath. Does anybody want a bag of rich in the cold moonlight? Everybody wants to smack a ditch. Life's a twisted plot, call it a glitch. Time to flex, no more being rich. Snitches acting funny, man, they switch. Streets are cold, gotta stay thug. People playing games, they pull a rug. Talking big, but they just above. Ballin' hard while they tryna plug. Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Haters hating hard, but I'm on my grind. Stacking paper while they fallin' behind. Got my crew tight, we ain't never blind. Flexing on the haters, we a different kind. Spit 5 frames, yeah, we in the booth. All these fake thugs just hide the truth. Chillin' with the real, we ain't got no sleuth. Keep your head high, show 'em what's the proof. Stacking off the podcast, coming at you from the downside. You wanna ride or do you running high? Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Smack a niche, reality's a bitch. Life's a dirty game, scratching that itch. Every day grind like we in a pitch. You either rise up, or you end up in a ditch. Haters hating hard, but I'm on my grind. Stacking paper while they fallin' behind. Got my crew tight, we ain't never blind. Flexing on the haters, we a different kind. Spit 5 frames, yeah, we in the booth. All these fake thugs just hide the truth. Chillin' with the real, we ain't got no sleuth. Keep your head high, show 'em what's the proof. Smacking off the podcast, coming at you from the downside. You wanna ride or do you running high?
Macking up the podcast is coming soon. Decide what do you have better to do. So wait and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. Macking up the podcast is coming soon. Decide what do you have better to do. So wait and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. Mattin up the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast, are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. Mattin up the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast, are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. Mattin up the podcast is coming soon. Besides, what do you have better to do? So wait and get that look off of your face. Smacking up the podcast, are preparing now. Please stop complaining and just chill out. Just wait and get that look off of your face. They're coming soon, you know they are. Don't be so impatient, okay? They're probably asleep. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head. What I cannot say, a feeling something's wonky, like mucky, muddy sand at the bottom of the ocean. Beneath acrobatic trapeze artist monkeys, what can be said? It's all in your head.
He would be so scared to see me.
Everybody thinks we was doing this shit, doxing motherfuckers. Nah, they came at us first.
I got a fire raging in my front yard.
Oh, why did you set your front yard on fire? Are you drinking again?
Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your city, dog balls. Because those authorities. Slacking off the podcast. Fuck your team, dog balls. You call them scorch authorities.
Slacking off the podcast.
What's going on, Bob?
What's up, guys?
Well, I haven't added anybody yet, but I'm fixing to.
Sure.
Bob's coming to us from Louisville. Bob decided to drive over to Louisville just so he could see the countryside, didn't you, Bob?
Oh, yeah. We come over here to see our live concert, and unfortunately it got canceled today because of 50 or 60 mile an hour wind gust, and thankfully the hotel's nice enough to let me have the show here in the lobby, so I'm very grateful to them, and hopefully we'll have a great time with our special guest, Kyle Golik, great Pittsburgh sports writer.
Kyle, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
What's going on, man?
Not too much. I'm getting ready. I'm going to be traveling here soon. Within the next few hours, I'll be heading up to State College for NBC's primetime game of the week between Penn State and Illinois.
Oh, nice.
But what I'm hearing is you're not here to talk about that game. Well, you'll talk about it, but you got another one you want to talk about.
I got another beat that I'm on that is probably why I'm here, and that's the Titanic clash in Tuscaloosa between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Damn right. Roll Tide. Well, hell yeah, that's a big one, Kyle. And then so here on Smacking Off Podcast, we also have our key contributors and cast members, Nikki Mays, Ed Schreiber, and Sean Devine, and we're all here to talk about this game. So, Kyle, what feels the keys to this matchup? What are you looking for in it?
So what I'm looking for in this game right off the bat is I'm looking at the Alabama young wide receivers. I'm really loving what Ryan Williams has done so far as a 17-year-old. But at some point, a 17-year-old is going to run into a buzzsaw with a more experienced defensive backs, and that's what Georgia possesses. I'm really also looking to see how Jalen Milroe really has his first true test of the season. He had a great 2023 SEC championship game. I wouldn't say it was his best performance, but it was efficient enough. Everyone's been raving. I've even raved about Milroe's performance, so that's a really a big deal. I want to see how much Georgia's kind of hung over from their. I think Kentucky gave them a run for their money there, Dr. Ball.
Oh yeah, so they proved that a real front seven can affect Georgia.
Yeah, so we got a lot of things on the docket here for Georgia. I mean, this is a program that's 49-2 in their last 51. Their last two losses have been to the Alabama Crimson Tide. So they pretty much know how to beat everyone else but Alabama in the biggest of stakes. I think this is also a defining matchup for both Kalen DeBoer and Kirby Smart. At this point, I wrote a column for Mike Farrell Sports about Kalen DeBoer. This is the honeymoon's officially over because it really is. You know, Nick Saban is the NCAA all-time leader in ranked wins. He has 104 of them. And what he did at Alabama was be absolutely dominant. And why he's the greatest coach of all time, and this is what I tell people, it's not the 7 national championships. I mean, that has a lot to do with it. But getting to those 7 national championships is he always won the biggest games. And Alabama rarely lost them. I mean, only one time in Saban's 17 years in Tuscaloosa did a team come into Bryant-Denny Stadium and beat an Alabama team by more than 10. So this is where the standard for DeBoer is going to be established. Can he do his first test? Then for Kirby Smart, this is also a legacy-defining game. Let's be honest here. Kirby Smart's the greatest Georgia coach of all time, and this is with all due respect to Wally Butts and Vince Dooley. What needs to be understood is Kirby's 1-5 against Alabama. And look, that ain't going to cut it. I don't care who you are. You look at my coach, James Franklin, what his record is against Ohio State. Look, Franklin can beat everyone else, but when it comes to Ohio State, it never happens. And really, with Georgia fans, he has a lot more equity than Franklin because he has those 2 national championships. But think about it. If he didn't have those, this game would be a whole lot higher stakes for Kirby. The only reason it isn't boiling in Athens is he got some titles. So that's kind of my leadoff thoughts entering this matchup here.
Now, well, Sean, now where do you think it's going? I think it's got something to do with, like he says, the torch, passing up the torch, or whether or not that Georgia will overtake Alabama, or whether or not Alabama will stand their ground and continue to be the main program in the SEC. What do you got on it? Oh, is Sean on here?
I think he is.
Oh,
Is he not?
I don't see Sean.
Well, Ed or Nikki, y'all can chime in. What do you think?
Well, I got, Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship game last year. Georgia looked like shit against Kentucky. The game's in Tuscaloosa. I got Georgia by 14.
Oh, hell yeah.
I actually have Bama. As long as Milroe shows up. I want to see how he does after not looking the best the last few weeks, but I think he's going to show out. But I'm more excited about the guest picker. Miss Terry is the guest picker on game day.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
So I'm
in Alabama.
I can't wait to tell my wife that one.
I have actually been wanting the Manning's mom forever because these women live this through their kids, through their husbands. They are there. They know more about what is going on that field because they are there with their husbands or their kids doing it. So getting their point of view is pretty awesome to be able to finally see.
You know who watches the most college football, guys? Is the mothers of players, right? Mm-hmm. And the band, right? They're the people in the band, and I know as sports people love to deride the band geeks and all that, but the people in the band see every game, right? And they know exactly what's going on. The people that really know what's going on in these programs as far as the performance on the field, like she said, are the mothers of the players, and the wives of the coaches, and the band, which I find interesting,
Well, their husbands and their kids run everything past them. Everything goes through mama, and we know that Saban has so much faith and respect in Miss Terry. Everything he's done has gone through her. So she knows Bama like the back of her hand.
Let me be a homer real quick, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump out there and just mention that DeBoer, as far as in big games, he's off to a really good start. Not at Alabama yet. He hasn't played a big game at Alabama, but at Washington, if I'm not mistaken, is he 4-1 against top 10 teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. That can go downhill really fast. We know this, so I'm not gonna get the balloons out yet. But
he dominated Oregon.
Twice.
Well, he beat up on Texas twice. So he's a great coach. I'm a big fan of Coach DeBoer, but like I said, it's a lot different whenever you're following Nick Saban in Alabama versus following who did he follow in Washington?
I don't remember, but they didn't do very well.
Yeah, whoever it was. My mind's mush this evening. So
the guy that was right after Peterson.
Game.
What's that?
I think that's
going to be. It was the guy. It was the guy that replaced Peterson, the defensive coordinator, I think.
And he will forever be known as the guy that replaced Peterson, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his. Yeah, wasn't he the linebackers or defensive backs coach?
He was noteworthy.
And he clearly, after maybe 2 years, was not. They knew it. So
it was Jimmy Lake, and then he beat up on a kid or had his incident. Then it became.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Then it was Bob Gregory, who served for 3 games, but he's not of note. He was more an interim role for Gregory.
That was an interim kind of role. But either way, I mean, DeBoer was awesome at Washington. He's been awesome everywhere he's really been.
So
Yeah, Sioux Falls won what, 2 or 3 national championships?
yeah, I mean,
think this
so
is a game for him bad. He wants this game probably more than anything right now to prove that he's just as good. Being able to beat Georgia, get him out of the way.
Or at least to just prove that he's maintaining well.
Yeah. You can
or maintaining
Yeah,
the
but
standard, because all you have to do is just look at the history. Alabama leads the series 43-26. So throughout the ages, regardless of all the great coaches they've had and Georgia's had, the standard is, 3 out of 4 times Alabama wins this game.
And I
So
want to say that record got a lot better while Saban was there. Alabama's wins went up a pretty good bit.
I mean, wasn't the biggest one the starter when it was either, I think, Saban's second year they went to Athens and they had the Georgia was wearing the blackout uniforms.
Yep.
And Alabama just woodshedded them in their own building.
Beat them so bad in the first half that they just took off for the second half. Georgia came back a little bit, but the game was never close.
I've got
it was never in question.
I've got an interesting take on this, guys. Yeah, had it been under the BCS and no CFP, and had it been pre-Southeastern Conference Championship, and even sometimes with that, Georgia wouldn't have won the last 2 might not have even been in the last 2 national championships because of one of the things that happened against Alabama. Yeah, I'm at the hotel, guys. I don't know what's going on. But
is there a fire alarm going off, Bob?
No, I think every time somebody goes in and out the door, it makes a big bell.
Bob,
anyway,
your hotel tonight, not mine.
Yeah, my
all you got to do, Bob, is just go, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, I should do that.
But
representative.
Let's not forget Kirby's going to have his guys ready to play
Oh,
after that showing.
Well, he's not doing his job if his guys aren't ready to play.
Hey, so does anyone have any guess what Kirby's pregame speech is going to be? Do you guys remember when that leaked audio came out of what Kirby said during, I think it was the ECU game?
I was going to say probably expletive laden inspiration.
What's the over under on F-bombs from Marvel?
I'm going to put it at 8, 8.5, 8 and a hook. 8 and a hook.
It's
Bob,
ready,
your
Bob.
pizza's ready.
Yeah.
Oh no, the bell just went off, so I had it muted for a second because the bell, to me, as a military guy, when something like that happens all at once, it's kind of tough on me, right? I don't know how to say it.
Check in, Bob.
Yeah, I don't really like a lot of changes that are real.
Oh, I missed it. No
because
good.
I had no AK-47 laying here, right? And my buddies, you know what I'm saying? And but I'm good with it. We're not going to trip. My PTSD ain't going to take over. I've smoked enough pot today where I'm in pretty good shape. You know what I'm saying? But
that's a brewing on a Friday night.
Oh yeah, and there's a bar here, and I'm watching Miami and Virginia Tech, and
I was surprised.
Surprised! It looks like Virginia Tech is winning. I'm getting a kick out of that. They're packing the quarterback off the field where he's dragging his feet right now. No, that's Barrow Jr. Never mind. I seen the low numbers. I thought it was the QB, but.
And we got split screen going on here, Bob, because obviously, that I'm watching that one. Virginia Tech so far having their way with Miami, being able to run and pass. Very porous Miami defense. Cam Ward not earning his NIL check tonight. He telegraphed that one pick, which could have been a pick 6, but it wasn't. And then on the other screen, showing signs of fatigue, the long 3,500-mile flight from Seattle to Piscataway, New Jersey. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights lead the Washington Huskies 7-3 here on Big Ten Friday night.
I'm seeing that also too. I'm watching that game also, but it's off to the side. I kind of got to lean over and check it.
Washington just missed a field goal, and now Rutgers has got it, and they're moving it.
And the winner keeps their false dreams alive.
All right, guys, I'm going to do a commercial, and when we come back, we're going to talk about something unpleasant.
Go to smackology.42web.io and click our Fans Edge link for instant savings on awesome products.
Hey, hey, here comes the donkey balls. Here they come, here they come. Your team sucks, donkey balls. Bouncing, 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 here they come. Open your mouth and get a big bunch. Suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them, suck them.
Watch Your Team Sucks Donkey Balls live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Hi, this is Kyle Golik, and I'm standing in the middle of SEC country. We're over here. Big Ten country here. Where do I stand? SEC, Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten. You're listening to the Smacking Off the podcast.
All right, guys, we're back. Smacking Off Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And let's be a huge win for Virginia Tech, the game we was just talking about, because they're at Miami. I mean, it's kind of shocking, even though Miami's defense looks pretty strong. But that's could be a potential donkey balls episode.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Miami's on bouncing donkey balls alert right now. This is, I mean, Virginia Tech's 2-2, and they've been able to run the ball pretty efficiently against this Miami defense.
What's the score? Because I'm watching the other game.
They're just letting them score.
21-14 Hokies. We're just about ready for halftime here.
Yeah.
Like, I was just watching them. They're just letting Virginia Tech score. Every time they touch the ball, just run on in.
Yeah. Poor tackling, poor angles of attack.
As much as I hate to start this conversation, I guess we're going to have to fucking talk about Tennessee, because the Tennessee people, they've already cleared out a place in the trophy case, and
they already won the national championship.
I was going to say they're acting like Ric Flair, and they're not wearing the belt, you know?
They're making room for a brand new life championship trophy in their case.
Hell yeah. That's right, Kyle. That they're angling for a life championship, and the reason why is, as you know, we're in the world of college football, sports talk and smack and so forth. And when the fans get so upset, right, or so excited, either way, it gives us the opportunity to give them the ultimate thing, the life championship, right? And the Tennessee fans, I mean, they're on another planet. They think they're going to win the Natty. There's a lot of contenders for the Natty, and Tennessee looks like a good team, but it's a little bit early to be on that. I mean,
it is early.
But all I heard for weeks was Oklahoma sucked. But then when they beat them, Oklahoma was awesome. So, you know.
But I think they got 2 gimme games coming up, so they should be unbeaten when they welcome the Alabama Crimson Tide on 19 October to Neyland Stadium. Because they're going to go into Arkansas, thrash the pig, and then they welcome the Gators, who, I mean, again, they're not playing Samford.
Yeah, but they are horrible against Florida.
They are. They are. You
horrible
cannot
against
put
Florida.
that in the win column.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we even beat them last year.
That's true.
I got to look at that. Let's see.
Tennessee's strength is their greatest flaw as well. The fact that they're up tempo and they think they can score a lot means that they're not really tiring anybody out in the long run, and they don't really have the ball long. And you also disrupt their rhythm and timing if you start possessing the ball for a long time. So Florida's their blueprint, you could say, to beat Tennessee last year was exactly how you got to play Tennessee. And then those high-tempo teams, if they get behind and the other teams have long possessions, then they get nervous, and when they come in, they make mistakes.
The difference is this year, though, is that, and granted, Oklahoma's offense is nothing to write home about, but neither is Florida's. And Tennessee actually has brought something of a defense to the table.
They have.
Which they have not done in previous years. Previous years, they were trying to beat you 63-56, whoever had the ball last. Their front four is a lot better than in years past. I'll give them that much credit. Do I think they'll beat Alabama at home? No, because I think Alabama is a much more balanced team than Tennessee. But I do expect them to get to that game unbeaten. I would be shocked if they're not.
Here's the
rub. I think Tennessee's chances of getting to the playoff are very good. Yes.
Yeah, and that's at the end of the day when you read, are the Vols for real? Look, is a 10-2 Tennessee team with losses to Alabama and Georgia the only two teams I feel that can beat them? Is a 10-2 Tennessee team going to make the playoff? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the tournament. So are they for real? Yes.
They could be 10-3 though with a second loss to Georgia.
I'm still not sold on them.
Oh no, that's wrong. Well, wait a minute. There's no divisions. Yeah,
There's
so
no division, so they could potentially. Yeah, they could potentially. I mean, I don't expect that.
Most
But
likely, Georgia and Texas may face off again in the SEC championship because they would be the two highest ranked teams.
That's what looks likely at this point, right? That Texas.
That's why I said a 10-2 Tennessee team is most likely playoff bound.
I think the winner of Georgia Alabama has an inside track on one of those two slots in Atlanta for sure.
We're really talking about seeding, though, for the CFP in the end of all this. And that's what's interesting about the changes in college football with the expanded playoff, the conference consolidation and so forth, is that now you're not just angling to get in the BCS, right? Now you're angling to where are you going to be in those 12 teams? Where's your seeding going to be? Who are you going to play the first game, right? And then the injuries and stuff, right, became an even bigger deal. Like right now, the line just moved on the was it the Tennessee game? The line moved on, and because players were injured, so
well, the Bama game line moved significantly from the start of the week till now.
That's what it was, and because Georgia had certain players out, defensive backs. They mentioned it on the in the groups and so forth. But so the lines moved on that significantly, right? And they so by then it's going to be extreme, right? You played 12 games of football, 13 already if you're a team that can get in the SEC championship game. And the schedules are tough this year, guys. I don't care who you are, right? When you're playing, the schedule that Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee is playing, even if you go through them games and make it, there's going to be attrition. And then, so the seeding is what you're really doing. Because if you can get one of the top two seeds in the CFP, then that's going to allow you to rest certain players, or you'll be more likely to make substitutions to keep people fresh. If I'm playing the FBS team, group, whatever, the one outside the group of four, the one AA school that gets in, right? If I'm playing that team, I may be able to manage the game in such a way that I can make rotations and be rested for the second round of the playoffs.
Well, I think what I like about it, and you're absolutely right, Dr. Balls. I completely agree with everything you said. The thing I like about it is, number one, I don't think, unlike last year, and I know we've beat that horse to the ground, but we won't have as a viewing public that much sympathy for the 13th team that gets left out, like versus certain years where the number 5 you go, this team, like in I think the initial year you had an unbeaten Florida State in the first year that we all knew was fraudulent. But the problem was the Big 12 didn't have a conference championship game, and you had Baylor and TCU both sitting there. I think both of them would have beat Florida State, and then Florida State got in because they're unbeaten, played basically a piddly schedule. The ACC's down. They go play Oregon in the Rose Bowl, and Oregon just mollywops them by 30. But, you can't not put that unbeaten team in. And last year you had the same scenario. Georgia should have been in. They weren't. That's, a travesty. So we felt for them. This year, number 13, they're probably going to have 2, maybe even 3 losses. I don't think we're going to have that sort of sympathy. We're going to be like, well, you should have handled your business.
I think we will have that sympathy, and that's why we will award one of those teams the life championship.
Well, we will give them the life championship for sure. But to the other point, Bob, who is now back in the conversation, and also helps that they joined a conference again. But who could get in as the group of 5 representative?
Who's that?
And I think both are unbeaten. I'll have to go back. I know one of them for sure is unbeaten. But it brings the service academies back into the conversation.
Woo!
Imagine you're
you're playing these normal kind of football games all year. You're hosting a first round game, and Army or Navy shows up, and you got to completely scrap everything you've done all year because they're running triple option, wishbone, veer, hell, sometimes even single wing T kind of formations and concepts. That's not something you are going to really want to deal with.
I'm getting hard on Sean. Just take that.
Can you imagine if the Army Navy game is for a spot in the playoff? I think that'd be awesome. I mean, the game that just about everybody tunes in to watch every year, those of us that love college football, even though it's a throwback and a lot of people, well, they never throw the ball. Well, who cares? You know, you got two teams that are giving it everything they got to try to win this game. And the games have been good the last 5 years if you've watched. But you add the carrot on top that's potentially you're going to be the group of 5 representative. Oh, man, sign me up. Sign me up.
I like it. And then it would bring the service schools back to greater notoriety again. They weren't a big part of the fabric of college football going back to the days of Newt Rockney. Is even way later than that. And stars were created that
yeah, I mean, you had Earl Red Blake at Army. You know, you had Roger Staubach at Navy and Joe Bellino, and I mean Belichick as a child grew up. His dad, coached and worked at the Naval Academy. Vince Lombardi got his start with coaching at West Point. So yeah, I mean, it'd be even as late as Bill Parcells. I did some work, I think, at Air Force. So yeah, it'd be great to bring the service academies back into the kind of the greater college football fold.
Now think about this. So what Air Force did that brought back them semi-relevance, especially in the 80s and 90s, is they went to a veer style that looked like the spread, right? So they used innovative offensive techniques to be relevant because they couldn't necessarily recruit the kind of players they wanted. So they ran based on what we would call gimmick offense in order to make a lot of points. And it worked against many teams, similar to Kentucky if they had Hal Mummy, right? So if somebody came in with like a Lavelle Edwards, Jim Donnan style spread thing that was real fast, like Mike Leach kind of thing. And that's what I've always wondered why they didn't do that at the service academies, because you don't need big linemen if the quarterback can deliver the ball in 2 seconds. So I've never understood why they didn't go to we'll say a Mike Leach system, even though it evolved from Lavelle Edwards, as we all know, right? We'll say, why hasn't anybody ever ran Mike Leach's system at the service academy?
Well, on that thought, let's take a break, and when we come back, we got a long list of games to go over.
You are now watching or listening to Smacking Off the Podcast. If you love it, tell your friends about it. If you hate it, share it with your enemies.
It was just a small gift from Mummy and Daddy. One, however, that would spark a bit of an obsession. It started out innocent enough, as these things always do, but quickly lit the fuse to something bigger. Mum and Dad encouraged other activities, but alas, had to sell things almost as fast as they bought them. Friends and family thought it was cute. It's just a bit of fun, they said. It's just a phase, they said. Well, it's all fun and games until your child is 34, still lives at home, and absolutely nothing has changed. These things should really come with a warning label. Buy, sell, eBay.
All right, we're back. Look at the schedule, guys. Welcome to back to Smacking Off the Podcast. Look at this schedule. They won a Kentucky and Ole Miss. That excites me. What about you guys? You see anything on here that tears you up?
You know, that Illinois game really excites me.
How about Louisville, Notre Dame? Oh, man, what a game. What a possibility on that game.
I'm excited for garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. Give me Oklahoma at Auburn for the game of the week.
Yeah.
Who wants this trash special more?
Hey, you know what? There's some donkey balls candidates right there. Well, you know how much we all love Hugh Freeze, right?
Hey, Devine, do you remember when Tim Bailey called us thought we were eating glue when we said when Oklahoma got to the SEC they would be like an 8 or 9 win team, and we were just the dumbest guys in the world.
Well, I think it wasn't just us. I think he said everybody thought, he thought everybody that thought OU was going to be poor in the SEC was out of their minds. And well, right now this is a huge must-win game for OU. I mean, if they lose this game, look out. I mean,
7-5 is not out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly. I mean, but we're talking about a team though that last year, high expectations going into the Alamo Bowl, and they were dreadful in Arizona. That was an easy win for Arizona. So that's not a good precursor to going into the best conference in the country. And they've had the better part of 2.5 years to prepare for this. Clearly, that time was wasted versus their compatriot, Texas, who has gone into the SEC. They look more than prepared to play an SEC schedule. Now, we're going to find out here. But
I think
Oklahoma really wasted a lot of those 2 years.
I think Oklahoma's bad enough to lose tomorrow. I'm just not sure Auburn's good enough to take it away.
I mean, apparently Dylan Gabriel.
No, I agree, Ed. I mean, this is going to be really bad football. And if you love bad football, this is a must-watch.
I'll tell you, if you want to see the most entertaining game tomorrow, could be Colorado UCF.
What do you think is going to happen there, Ed?
Well, UCF's got to win it to keep their false hopes alive of the getting the 12th spot. There's certainly going to be a lot of points with KJ Jefferson going up against Sanders. I think UCF will win a close one, 45-42 kind of thing.
Is it in Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give me UCF and the upset special. I know Shedeur Sanders is incredible, so is Travis Hunter, but the rest of that team is kind of leaky.
Is Colorado favored? Because UCF is unbeaten.
That's crazy. If they're favored, that's crazy. I don't have to look up the line on that.
Surprisingly,
What did you say the game was?
It's in the bounce house.
Yep.
What's the line for UCF?
I don't see Colorado favored in this.
I don't think so.
But I should mention in that same stadium, I did see Henry Paul, Van Halen, and the Stones live in Orlando.
Yep.
All-day affair.
Ed can never resist getting a Rolling Stones plug in.
We got to get that in there.
Hey,
You got that right.
Ed, you got to love my phone case then.
Oh, yeah. Golik's huge Stones fan.
Big time.
Who doesn't love the Stones? They're
He
great.
had a music show that
Doug Phillips. They're inferior.
Oh, no, I love the Stones. I just think they're inferior to the Beatles.
Exactly.
I mean, I think most bands are inferior to the Beatles, and I love a lot of bands.
See, a lot of you guys, our viewers out there may not know that we have a rock podcast of which Kyle is one of the main guys on, and we love his input. He knows as much about rock and roll as he does about football, which is a lot. And we've had some spirited debates on the Balls Out podcast.
You're mentioning this, Bob. You're mentioning this so that we're forced to do another one, aren't you?
Yes, I want us to do another one.
I wouldn't mind being up with Ed and just having a Rolling Stones conversation.
Okay, Ed, you're in on the next one too, Ed.
So UCF, I'm tracking. UCF is a 13.5-point favorite over Colorado.
Yeah,
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot. I don't know if they cover that, but I definitely think they win the game.
So
yeah,
this game is in Orlando.
Oh yeah,
correct.
They're favored by 14. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
saw
a
for the line.
ton of points.
I bet you UCF wins by 20.
Wow.
I hate to say that, but
If it's still raining the way it was.
Colorado is uninspiring to me.
They've only got 2 players that's any good. From what I can see, the line isn't any good. It's only the talent of Shedeur Sanders that's getting him outside the pocket long enough to get a pass off. And a lot of times he's not making the greatest decision, and he's forcing it. But he's forcing it a lot of times to an All-American on the, and he's getting lucky out of it. But I don't. In football, luck runs out sooner or later. Right?
You do have to. I mean, if you've watched Colorado, though, I mean, Shedeur Sanders is. I mean, he's a first-round grade right now for next year's draft, and boy, is he's exciting. He is the real deal. I mean, that one throw he rolled against the grain, non-throwing arm, and he threw it about 55 yards. I mean, that was an NFL caliber throw. That was
it's undeniable.
And I don't think UCF's defense is not good enough for that to be an easy cover by any stretch.
So what time is this game? Y'all got me interested.
3:30.
I guess I have to watch it now.
3:30 Eastern, 12:30 for those of us on the left coast.
All right, so let's start chipping away at this list here. Kentucky at Ole Miss. I mean, after watching Kentucky and Georgia, it would be easy to get excited here and say that Kentucky has a shot here. But
Dr. Balls, I mean, is our Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I mean, what Kentucky's going to show up? The Kentucky that took Georgia to the wire, or the uninspired gets beat like a drum to South Carolina, Kentucky? I think that's the question.
He muted himself.
I don't. They're not going to shut down. They're not going to shut down Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Oxford. I mean, Ole Miss is, we know kind of they're scoring points, but I think if Kentucky's defense plays as inspired as they were against Georgia versus as uninspired as they were against South Carolina, I mean, we could either have a really close game or we could have a blowout, I think.
Well, here's how Kentucky wins that game. Kentucky's defense has their nose tackle.
How they win that game, or how they can win the game?
How they can win it, because they're not going to win. I got them losing by 21. But here's how they can win it.
Hey, Bob, does anything you say matter now?
Yeah.
You just said
they
they're
can
gonna
win it.
lose
I'm
by
going to tell you
21.
how. Their nose tackle is one of the most dominant players in the country at any position, right? And he's backed up by linebackers, all four of which may go to the NFL, right? And two of them for sure. And if there's an edge rusher that's just a notch below what we've seen at Kentucky's best, and he's going to J.J. Weaver, and he's going to the NFL, right? So if those guys penetrate and crush the quarterback and they pack him out of the game, then Kentucky wins. But, like you know, Ole Miss not only throws the ball up, but the reason they're able to throw a ball against SEC defensive lines of the caliber of Kentucky, which would put is rarefied air, that's Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. Right, the only teams that Kentucky have a defensive front seven is good or better than Kentucky's, right? And the reason that they're able to score against that is they always have a mobile quarterback, not necessarily to run the football, but to get away from pressure. And if they do that, they'll crush Kentucky, I think.
Only way Kentucky wins is if Ole Miss don't show up. That's
we'll see.
Yeah, I got Ole Miss by 24 in this one.
Wow, I don't know if it's going to be that bad. I think we've overestimated Ole Miss by beating a bunch of tomato cans, because they have not played anybody as of yet. So I think there's a little jitters in this one. They win, but I'll say it's by 13, like I don't know, 31-17, something like that.
You're kind.
Well, I mean, I the effort that Kentucky put out against Georgia shows they can seriously play some damn good defense. Their problem is they struggle to move the ball on offense, and that defense could eventually get worn down by Ole Miss. So I'm hoping for you, Dr. Balls. I hope maybe I'm wrong and we see an upset, but just from on paper, right now it doesn't look great.
It don't, because Kentucky doesn't have the running game they had in the past in order to
get if you had that running game when you had Benny Snell, and you could keep Ole Miss's offense off the field and play ball control, I'd have a much greater, opinion of a potential upset. But
I agree. So
does anybody else have any thoughts on this one? All right, let's move on to Big Red Nebraska Cornhuskers against the Purdue Boilermakers.
And who put this game on the list?
Yeah,
I did. But I forgot to put the laugh track too.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Nebraska, we're on a Cornhusker watch right now, because this is the year that Matt Rule typically, does something. Or,
Purdue gets
at least
obliterated.
that's what Nikki said. Nikki, didn't you say that?
I know I said it.
Nikki?
Oh, she froze up. She's going back in. She had some internet issues, and she's coming back in. I just got a message. We just got a message. But,
Okay, so I'll go ahead and set the record straight. Nikki definitely said that.
Yeah.
Nebraska big.
I think so as well. I think the
I think the biggest thing here is just the continued development of Dylan Raiola. I want to see him continue to progress, get better. Purdue, having watched a bad Notre Dame team slice and dice them, give me the Cornhuskers by about 40 tomorrow. And Purdue fans will leave Ross-Ade Stadium asking, when is the first Boilermaker basketball game? Because, football season's over.
And it's going to be a mud hole. See, a lot of these games, a lot of people don't realize, all the way on the line from Florida up through Kentucky into Indiana, it's going to be a mud hole.
It's raining everywhere.
Yes,
it's raining everywhere.
Everywhere. So these games are going to be real exciting. They're going to be muddy. They're going to be ugly, and I love muddy, ugly football.
We love muddy grass in the face mask.
How about Whiskey heading to the left coast to play the USC Trojans?
Another laugh or take the Trojans.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, Men of Troy going to be upset. They let that game slip away last week in Ann Arbor because literally one missed tackle. Wisconsin struggled to beat Western Michigan at home. USC is considerably better than Western Michigan. I look for Miller Moss to have a day.
Just keep it simple, Devine. Wisconsin no longer has an offensive identity during this transition into the air raid that isn't working out well. And with Tyler Knight getting obliterated by the Crimson Tide, it just only exacerbates how bad their identity is. I think Phil Longo is going to be longing for being back in Chapel Hill than in Madison.
And they got trouble in Chapel Hill, too, after getting 70 put on them by James Madison, the Mighty Dukes. Tough day for the Badgers. So hopefully they at least can enjoy some of Los Angeles before they got to go back to Madison.
The Louisville Cardinals headed to South Bend to play the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I gotta love that.
Yeah, make fun of me since I said Illinois, right? We're on Louisville.
Louisville.
Now we're going with Louisville tonight. Goddamn it.
You know.
Bob's in Louisville. Bob, what do you think?
I mean, Louisville's a great town. I've always had a good time. People are nice, and but I would root for Louisville. But as you all know, I'm a Kentucky alumni, and I just can't do it. It's just impossible to be rooting for Louisville. I just can't do it. At Notre Dame, they poach our best players from the state year in and year out, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I love Notre Dame football, and Notre Dame has to matter for college football to matter, so I'm rooting Notre Dame, and I believe it's going to go Notre Dame 31-21.
I hate to say this, Devine. I hate to say this, but I don't trust Freeman, and I don't trust this Notre Dame team on a week-to-week basis. I'm just taking Louisville.
Wow.
You're not telling me anything. I completely agree with both of those statements because I feel the same way. But green out, revenge factor from last year, low scoring game. I think the defense for the Irish, which is clearly one of the nation's best, but on the other side of the ball, our offense is one of the nation's worst. I think the Irish just have enough to pull out a squeaker, call it Notre Dame 23, Louisville 21. A last-second Mitch Jeter field goal gets it done for the Irish. But
so I got to go ahead. I got to jump in here real quick, and I know Nikki wants to pick on this game because I've seen a picture of Nikki in a Notre Dame shirt. So I think Notre Dame is Nikki's second favorite team.
Yes, and I actually am going with Notre Dame. They're going for revenge. I say they win by 10-14.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Notre Dame. I don't trust Notre Dame, but I think they win this one comfortably.
They're pissed right now. They didn't look the best last week, and losing the way they did, I think that they're going to come in strong.
Now, guys, we do got to talk about this aspect of it, right? Now, Brom is good coach, right? and he wants to bring Louisville back to prominence. And I think he can do that. Right.
He's already done it. He got him to the ACC championship game last year.
That's a certain level of prominence, but now the CFP is the measure of prominence, and that he's got to win this game in order to get what he wants at Louisville and to move them on to the level he wants and to bring them up to their heights they had in the 90s of being a top 5 team on the regular. If Louisville wants to do that, they've got to beat Notre Dame tomorrow.
Well, they certainly have the opportunity because right now, that ACC guaranteed bid to me is still very much up in the air and in jeopardy. For the ACC is not good this year. It's not a good conference.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Louisville's unbeaten, by the way. Now this game's a non-conference game, but yeah, I mean, Jeff Brom is the right man for Louisville. I mean, obviously he's a alum, so that's a cliche, I guess. But I mean, he's gotten them fired up, motivated. He's bringing in obviously he's not getting 5-star talent, but he's bringing in guys through the transfer portal that fit his system, fit what he wants to do. I mean, last year they caught us very flat-footed. I mean, we were not prepared, particularly for their defense. Their defense flies around, a lot of 2-3-star guys that are hungry, and they play hard for him. So I think Jeff Brown's the guy. If anybody's going to bring Louisville back to kind of prominence, he's the right man for the job. And I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they beat Notre Dame tomorrow. I would not. I would not, because I absolutely agree with Kyle's sentiment. Marcus Freeman is 1 minute we're on the top of Everest, and the next minute we're at the bottom of the
Marianas.
The Marianas Trench. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know week to week what team is going to show up. The team that was fired up like crazy to beat A&M in a 107,000 building, or a team that was sleepwalking and letting Northern Illinois control pace of play in your own house. So,
well, it seems like every other game. So this is another game. They didn't look the best last week. So this week they'll probably come out dominant.
So then next week we'll lose to Stanford, is what you're telling me. Okay.
Yeah. Or look like shit. I mean, you could still win, but you're probably going to look like shit.
All right, so we've got the Fighting Tim Baileys going to Jughead Stadium to play the Auburn Tigers.
So there's an update. Peyton Thorne is starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
He was very good at Michigan State.
How dare they disrespect my guy, handsome Hank Brown?
That's being too nice. I'm taking Oklahoma. Auburn is, if it wasn't for Mississippi State and Florida being absolute dumpster fires, the barn would be burning right now. So
I agree.
I think Auburn's worse than Florida.
I'm gonna go crazy with my upset special. I'm taking Auburn at Jordan Hare. Some strange things are gonna happen. And somehow Auburn pulls this one out and beats Oklahoma. And then just the meltdown from our favorite Boomer Sooner is going to be. So if I'm wrong, I'm okay with being wrong. But, I would love it. That would be great. So give me Auburn. Give me Auburn. Give me Auburn
because they found their quarterback.
Give me Auburn 12-10.
Well,
I think Oklahoma found their quarterback and they have a defense.
Do they really have a defense, though?
It's better than Auburn's.
Their defense is better than Auburn's, but I believe the defensive line at Auburn is good enough to disrupt Oklahoma, right?
This guy is, a redshirt freshman making his first ever start on the road at Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
That's still – Jordan Hare, I know Auburn's bad, but that's still a really tough place to go in and get a win.
I think Auburn can pull it off. I do. I after watching them against Tennessee, they look like crap, but they weren't.
Oklahoma, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't.
It wouldn't surprise me if Oklahoma wins horrible. By 20.
They weren't horrible. And then once they changed quarterbacks, it was like watching a baseball game. The whole dynamic of the team on offense changed. And
I think Auburn's definitely got a chance.
Yeah, they've got a chance. I agree with that.
If Peyton Thorne cannot throw like 3 interceptions, they definitely have a chance.
You're,
Well,
you're
it doesn't matter if he
expecting
does. Oklahoma just gives it back to the other team.
Well,
I mean-
but that was Arnold Jackson Arnold. Now,
Yeah.
so this new guy, maybe he doesn't turn the ball over, and maybe Oklahoma gets an easy win. But there's just something about playing at Jordan Hare. If they get up for a game, you never know. You know.
Devine, does this game have shades of the Wake Forest Virginia Tech scoreless game going into overtime with the famous Frank Beamer thing doing this? This game has this written all over it.
I mean, I'm excited for this game because I want to see lots of penalties, lots of turnovers, lots of punting, missed field goals. You know,
Oh, it's
I
gonna
want.
be because it's a nasty field right now. That
I
field
want.
is disgusting.
I want a slop fest of football here.
That's all
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
going
be.
to happen.
Because that storm, that stadium
Kind of came
is
through that area. Yeah, they got a lot of
disgusting.
rain. That is a natural grass field they do play
So
on.
it
that
is
Georgia's
going
Jordan
to be mud. I really believe we're going to see like a mud fest.
Love it. Love it. Sign me up.
Arkansas and Texas A&M, guys. That's also, isn't that like the all futility bowl? Like where both teams suck so bad, right? That you're looking to see the kind of things that Sean's described.
Yeah, but I mean, Jerry Jones is paying him to play at his palace there in the Metroplex. So, games in Jerry's World in Dallas. This is, an old Southwest Conference rivalry game. But the last few years, it's been really kind of like a great game to put on your TV if you needed a nap.
Kyle, stick together. Take Texas A&M.
I think A&M can get it done. Arkansas just, I don't know. I'm not buying it yet. I feel bad for Sam Pittman. I think he's coaching his butt off, not only for his job, but to make the team better. But it's just not there. A&M's just got a few more weapons. I think A&M squeaks this one out in Dallas.
I can't shake the Jimbo feeling of the whole Texas A&M program. I'm going with Arkansas because when I see Arkansas's name, I still think Jimbo. So I've got to go with Arkansas.
I feel like that Arkansas is going to show out because of who they're playing for, and they're playing for Jerry. Jimmy Johnson's there. They're having a good old fest at Jerry World. I think Arkansas is going to show up.
So who do you got in Mississippi State and Texas, Nikki?
Mississippi State for sure.
Oh,
really?
I know you're a Texas person.
Oh my God, Texas is going to destroy them.
It's going to be ugly, guys.
Guys, I did throw some shitty games on this list, but I got to say this: Idaho and UC Davis. I don't know how that got on this list. It was a busy week, guys.
It's a bad copy paste job, Doug. Come on.
We're not talking about that one though. If I could cross it out right here, I would.
Well, let's do it and go straight to Georgia, Alabama. Let's talk about Georgia.
Whoa. Pump the brakes there, Dr. Balls.
Oh.
We got Kyle Golik on. We got Illinois at Penn State. He's covering it tomorrow.
That comes later, though.
We have talked extensively about Alabama and Georgia, so I agree with you. Let's go to Illinois. Illinois.
No. Let's stay there. Let's go down the list.
Is that game before that game's after Georgia?
No, they're the same time.
Oh, they're the same time. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, tell me they didn't put Georgia at Alabama on not in prime time. That would be
no. See, I told you, Sean, it was a long week.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Penn State is favored by 19 and a half.
Damn it, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of points. I
defer
to Kyle. He's been at all the Penn State games.
I have. Let me tell you something. I've been in press boxes the last few years, and I've always get stuck behind NFL personnel or SIDs. And the Kent State game was the first time I've ever seen an opposing SID literally turn around to me and say, whatever score you think this game is going to be, it's going to be it. And throughout the game, these guys were absolutely a riot. So if there's anything that's worth seeing from Kent State is their football personnel staff, because they were great. I mean, Penn State did wreck their top two quarterbacks for the season. But carrying into this game, no Penn State defender has played more than 25 snaps against Kent State. I want you to settle in on this. And a lot of it also came to the offense as well. This is a game that Franklin, there's what I call the James Franklin, Michael Jordan, I took this personal moment. This is one of those games because I still feel that James is bent out of shape over losing the 9 overtime affair. And when he gets this way, Penn State usually does something and puts up a crooked number. I think Omari Evans is the other key to this because one of the things I've been beating up Penn State on is the poor play at the wide receiver position. But Omari Evans has a 5 consecutive game streak with a 25-yard or more play that he's done. And he's had a 20-yard games. And that's been Penn State's missing link is what can they do in the receiving core? It just feels every week a new wrinkle in Kotelnicki's playbook is unraveling. Penn State has the best tight end in the country in Tyler Warren. I think Luke Reynolds is the heir apparent, and that's what they're rolling with. I like Penn State, and I like Penn State big.
Yeah, I think I like them big too. Illinois, I think they're very well coached and they're solid. I love their scheme, but Penn State at home is so dominating. Like you're saying about the defense, I was wondering about that myself, right? They're possessing the ball a long time. Their defense comes in, dominates, 3 plays, it's out. They're going to be fresh, and no matter how muddy or ugly it gets, Penn State has an answer.
Even with the KJ Winston injury, DeJuan Lane has stepped up big time. He's not as good as Winston. No one is. Winston's a bona fide, I feel, top 15 draft pick, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Every scout that I've talked to that has attended a Penn State game and watched Winston literally said they're there to watch him. And that's 23 different NFL teams. This guy's going to be gone early. He's absolutely special. It's unfortunate he went down with the injury that he did against Bowling Green. What everyone says, it's something that he could play through. They're just waiting things out because he could also get surgery on this. No one's really saying much about this. So it's been like trying to find things out. So I like Penn State. I like Penn State big.
Give me a halfway, not so fast, my friend, from one of our beloved television personalities. Illinois extra day of rest after the Friday night win at Nebraska. Number 2, Drew Aller, not as mobile as Dylan Raiola. Drew Aller's a statue, despite what anyone wants to say.
You watched him this year? That's all he's been, has been very mobile at times.
He's been mobile against some bad teams. I would still tell you that, Kyle, you could probably outrun him in a 40.
I appreciate the compliment, and he does look ugly when he runs, and I'm with you on it. But when he does take off, it's been effective. He's knowing when to extend a play, and that's something that he wasn't able to do last year.
I think the Illinois defense, particularly the front 7, will make Drew Aller's passing game not so fun Saturday. Where I do think Penn State wins this game is because they will be able to run the ball, and particularly, Katron Allen, correct me if I'm wrong, is still there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Katron Allen will be the difference in the game. Give me Penn State to win, but not cover the 19.
I agree with Sean. I can't see Illinois getting back-to-back big road wins.
Yeah, they won't get the win, but they will be pesky. They will be annoying. Kyle will probably have to have a second Diet Coke up in the press box, but eventually late, a Katron Allen TD puts the Illini away. Give me Penn State 24-10.
Keep this in mind. All 5 Penn State starters are in PFF colleges top 300, and there's only 4 colleges in the country that have that distinction. This O-line is good, and Phil Troutwine compared the freshman Cooper Cousins to the Pouncey twins. That's about as high of a compliment as you can give.
I just think Illinois under Bielema, they're a very pesky kind of team, and so they just hang around long enough to be annoying. But eventually, the fourth quarter, that O-line and Katron Allen, the running attack puts them away, and they win by 14. Maybe even 17, 27-10, something like that.
Hey guys, let's jump into Florida State at SMU. That's an interesting game.
The Hilltop, man. Let's go Mustangs.
I'm excited for this one.
SMU's going to be in a bad mood.
Run the Pony Express on
Oh,
them,
wait,
man.
no.
I mean, Florida State just had to eke out a win against a very tired Cal team that had made its second coast-to-coast trip. So, Florida State finally gets a W in the W column. But SMU, man, when they want to turn it on, they really put the hammer down against TCU in a game I think we all thought TCU would probably win. Rhett Lashley has the Ponies playing really good football right now. How interested is Florida State going to be making that trip out to Dallas? I can't say that it's going to be a high level of motivation. So give me SMU in this one.
It could be ugly.
Wouldn't that be something?
I like
if
SMU for sure.
If SMU puts it on FSU, that would be hilarious.
I think they're going to. I think that this is for them. They're like true test of ACC football in their mind because they're playing Florida State. They haven't gone up against anyone else in the ACC yet to this. I mean, they suck this year, but to this caliber, of a program. And I mean,
on paper, FSU has talented players. The problem is they don't buy into their coach. They're not playing as a team. They're playing as individuals. And that's never a recipe for success in football. It's a team game.
I agree 100% with that, Sean. That's their whole problem. He's not able to build cohesiveness and unit cohesiveness, so therefore he's not getting any results.
Also, DJU is still their quarterback, right? So
they are.
They're standing by their man, I guess. But,
that's their man.
That's their guy.
All right, so we got some late games. We're definitely not mentioning Idaho at UC Davis, but how about Wazoo at Boise?
Go Cougs, guys.
Go Cougs.
Ooh. This is going to be actually, if you stay up late, East Coast viewers who watch our program, stay up late, maybe put on another pot of coffee. This is going to be a great game. This will be a great game. They're not far from each other. A very easy drive from Boise to the Palouse and vice versa. They don't like each other, and these programs don't like each other. And soon to be, they're going to be conference rivals. So there's a little precursor. I got Washington State winning this game. I think they're the better team, but I don't think they're going to blow Boise State off the field. I think this is going to be a heck of a dogfight.
I will have this game on my iPad in the Penn State press box, so I'm doubling down on Devine's recommendation. I'm a big fan of the Washington State quarterback. I thought Washington would be able to neutralize him in the Apple Cup, and he amazed me in it. I'm going to be keeping more of an eye on him. Go Cougs in this one. I mean, this is one of the games that's going to redefine the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, and then Boise State they damn near got the upset win over Oregon. They just fell a little short. So if they
sorry, you meant the Pac-2.
No, they're the Pac-7.
Oh, really? Oh shit! Yes. I need to update my news feed.
Yeah, Utah State, Boise State, Fresno State, Colorado State are all
San Diego State.
Yeah, we predicted this a couple weeks ago.
We did.
We did predict this, that they would reform the Pac-12 out of some of those Mountain West schools. And now the hang-up for a wider Pac-12 is whether or not they're going to allow Gonzaga in, since Gonzaga doesn't have a football team. But
this ain't going to be a Power 5 conference.
Here's a question for you guys. So you're seeing all the court filings between the Pac-12 and the Mountain West? Who wins that legal cat fight between Teresa Gold of the Pac-12 and Gloria Navarez of the Mountain West over the poaching situation?
The crazy thing that I'm surprised was that they did get rebuffed from their latest overtures, where they wanted UNLV and I think Air Force to join as well. And I think Air Force and UNLV said thanks, but no thanks.
So did Memphis, Tulane, and South Florida rebuffed them as well.
Yeah, I saw that, but I mean, that was kind of an easy, like if you're Memphis and you're Tulane and New Orleans, do you really want to fly all the way to either Corvallis or Pullman or, Fresno, California? I mean, at some point, some of these smaller programs, you do think about the logistics of it. And not
If they
just
think they're going to make money, though, and get in on that TV contract. 'cause
I'm sure they had their accountants crunching the adding machine going, would it make more sense for Tulane to join the pack, whatever it is, and fly to all those places? Or, and the other thing is they really don't have a TV deal yet, if I'm not mistaken, right, Kyle? There's no television deal yet.
No, they have the CW.
Well, even worse.
Well, guys, we lost Dr. Balls. I think his phone died.
The CW putting together all the worst sporting events you can possibly imagine.
Something is better than nothing, Sean.
If you can find the CW, I had to search hard last week because SMU TCU was on CW, and it was like on YouTube. I'm scrolling. Oh, there it is. Finally found it. Yeah. So. I think it made sense for Tulane and Memphis to say thanks, but no thanks. And to be frank, their conference that they're in, it's a pretty fun, exciting conference. The American is a very exciting conference.
What's not the degree?
Did we lose Doug?
No, I'm still here.
No, he's still there.
Yeah. So hey, real quick, I got to jump off here in a second. Let's go ahead and get over Arizona at Utah. Is that even worth mentioning, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely worth watching for sure.
Yes. I like the Utes.
I like the Utes at home. I like what Whittingham is doing. I expect them to win this game. But correct me if I'm wrong, Fafita is still the Arizona quarterback, is he not?
Yep, and McMillan is still, I think, the best receiver in the nation.
Yeah, so they're gonna get theirs. Go ahead, Nikki.
Is Rising I think he's game time decision. They're going to let him throw again before the game.
I feel like he's been game time decision for 3 years.
Yeah, he has been, but he was throwing a little bit better this last week game time. So maybe but he still won't be 100%.
He didn't play against OK State though, right?
No, he didn't.
And they still won on the road.
Yeah, they put him out there.
Stillwater.
His hand wasn't good enough.
Rice Eccles will be rocking. I got Utah winning by 10. That defense is ferocious. So I'm with Kyle. Give me the Utes. But I still think Fafita and McMillan will do some fun things. So it'll be worth a watch.
Dr. Balls, how did you get back here?
I'm using my phone, but the reason I use my phone all the time is I can barely hear you guys for some reason when I use it. But I'm back on my phone. And luckily, I'm here with us. And I agree with you guys about Arizona and Utah, even though I'm impressed that Arizona is making strides. And I feel they're going to be a program to watch in the future, but this ain't the year.
Okay, so real quick, Oregon at UCLA.
Blowout. About UCLA in Los Angeles per Deshaun Foster Big Ten Media Days. Oregon big.
Yeah, Doug.
I think Dylan Gabriel and Oregon have finally kind of shaken enough of the rust off from some of their closer escapes. UCLA, I think, just lost to Ed's favorite Big Ten team, not named Michigan, the Indiana Hoosiers. So yeah, give me Oregon big in this one. You'll need to change the channel and find a better game pretty quickly after tuning into this one.
Okay, so I'm not sure that we picked on the Alabama-Georgia game.
No,
so
we need to.
Let's give our thoughts before I disable this one.
Alabama.
I got Bama too. What's your
31-27 Alabama.
Oh. What's your score, Ed?
35-21 Georgia.
What about you, Nikki?
Oh, wow. You took the dogs, Ed?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Nikki,
we're
are you
missing.
still here?
Darling,
I'm at the soundtrack to Purple Rain.
Sorry,
Darling
Nikki's not here.
So, Doug, there is a game that's not on this list that I'm just going to say it now.
Hold on. Let me pick on this game real quick.
Okay.
I think Bama wins, but if Georgia can stop Alabama's run and do basically the same game plan that Auburn had last year for 59.5 minutes, I think Georgia can win this game.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
I think if Bama has a hard time running, it's going to be interesting.
Hell yeah, I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as everybody's got. I'm thinking maybe 31-28, 31-30.
All right, Ed, throw the game in because I'm fixing to have to run.
I'm not calling the upset, but I'm saying it could be a very interesting game. South Alabama at LSU.
Oh, shit. All right, so yeah, Smacking Off the Podcast has officially picked South Alabama to upset LSU.
I'll be rooting for South
Ed's
Alabama.
going to set it.
We like it.
I would love it.
Talk to you later. And Dr. Balls, hopefully you get to watch some music tomorrow.
See you guys.
Later.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for supporting Smacking Off the Podcast. Make sure to stream in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new live cast.